fastest show in sports.
Two things we know for certain. One, Paul Skenes is the best pitcher in the National League, a Cy Young Award winner. Look, this is the guy they've been talking about all season long in the National League. He is nearly unhittable. He is a brilliant pitcher. The second thing we know for certain, Paul Skenes is not going to the New York Yankees. Let's start right there, because it's inevitable that when somebody like Paul Skenes, who comes from a small market Major League Baseball team with a questionable ownership, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit, all of a sudden now everybody says he's going to go to the New York Yankees. Now that he's successful, he's going to go. Wait a minute. Before you all start to hyperventilate here, let's all go back to where this all started. On NewJersey.com, the writer, Randy Miller, wrote this story. Paul Skenes has a Yankees dream. Trust me, teammate says, and Pirates understand it. Now, the whole gist of the article is that a former teammate of Skenes talked to Miller and told him that, without question, Skenes is getting ready to go to the New York Yankees once he has the chance. Now, he doesn't become a free agent for several years, so he's still going to be in Pittsburgh unless they trade him. And the Pirates have said, no question, we are not trading him. He's staying here. Of course, he's one of the major draws for this franchise right now that needs every single fan that it can get. But the idea that he is going to the Yankees, that he wants to be there, if you talk to Skenes, which 93.7, the radio station in Pittsburgh, did, you'll find out that he says all the right things. As far as he's concerned, this whole thing is nothing more than a bad rumor.
I got shown the tweet and didn't really think anything of it, and I got some texts about it. I'm on the Pirates. My goal is to win with the Pirates. I love the city of Pittsburgh. The fans are hungry to have a winner in Pittsburgh, and I want to be a part of the group that did that. I think about it the same way that, when I was at the Air Force Academy, we had never been to a conference championship, and then my sophomore year, we ended up winning the conference. We had never finished top 4 in the conference before that. Pittsburgh is, in the way that fans see us outside of Pittsburgh is not supposed to win. There are 29 fan bases that expect us to lose. And I want to be a part of the group. I want to be a part of the 26 guys that change that. So I don't know where that came from. The goal is to win. I don't know the reporter that reported it. I don't know the player who supposedly said that, but the goal is to win, and the goal is to win in Pittsburgh.
Now, you got to give Skenes credit. He hits all the right marks here because he's a member of the team. He's not going to say he wants to go to the Yankees now, and he seems to be a fairly reputable guy from everything you hear about Skenes. He's honest, he's real, and he's not the kind of guy who's going to lie to your face. There is no doubt that he probably is not thinking about the Yankees right now. This is probably something that happened in offhand conversation with a former teammate, and somebody's looking to help make news. Now, this guy Miller goes ahead and writes the story, doesn't bother to check with Skenes, doesn't call him, as any really good reporter will do. You get a story, you call the guy, you ask if it's true. Doesn't bother. So Skenes has got to talk about it on the local radio station, and I give the station a lot of credit for getting him right on the line and setting this thing exactly what needs to be said. The point of the matter here, though, is Skenes is very likely going to leave the Pittsburgh Pirates one day. It's very likely because this is not a franchise that you want to stake your claim with for the rest of your life. And then go to the New York Yankees here for a second. Why is it that everybody who's successful, all of a sudden somebody, and notice it's a reporter from a New Jersey paper. I believe they used to be the Newark Star Ledger, and now they're NewJersey.com, NJ.com. Notice how it's always a New York area newspaper that says, hey, he wants to be a member of the New York Yankees, or this guy wants to be a member of the Mets. Sorry, as a former Mets fan, I can do that. But it always comes down, it seems, to be the Yankees. Everybody wants to be a Yankee. Why? Let's just take this now from a serious perspective, okay? Which will no doubt anger a lot of Yankee fans. But I got news for you. The Yankee fans who understand exactly what's happening in that franchise right now, who have been bedraggled over the last several years, who have always been promised a winner and don't get what they want because, let's face it, the New York Yankees should be in the World Series every single season, or at least their fan base believes that. But these are people who are hardcore fans who just simply haven't been given the team that they want. Now, they got a good team this season where they came up against the Toronto Blue Jays, a better team, no doubt, without question, who then went on to the World Series. But at least they made it to the ALCS. But it's not automatic that everybody wants to become a member of the New York Yankees for a number of reasons. One, how long's it been since the Yankees won a championship? 197 years? No, I'm kidding. 196. But seriously, not everybody wants to go to New York. New York is a playground where people say, oh, you're always going to get the good money there. Well, maybe that's true, but for a lot of players, they want to go to a team that they have a chance to win a championship. Right now, if you're in Major League Baseball, if you're a player, a pitcher of any repute whatsoever, you want to go to the LA Dodgers. They're the two-time defending champions now, come 2026. That's the best team in baseball. You want to go to another team maybe where you have a chance to win and you have a chance to win a championship. Maybe the Toronto Blue Jays right now. It's a great organization. So not everybody wants to become a member of the Yankees automatically like that just because they're the Yankees. There's another thing, too. It's not that easy to live, eat, sleep, breathe, and work in that New York bubble. Once you become a member of the Yankees, you are open to some of the most incredible criticism. And not only that, but sometimes it's insulting, it's mean, it's nasty. It's the way New York is. It's the way the fans are. Look, you've got sports talk radio stations in New York that hammer players consistently 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Some people just don't want to put up with that. There's a number of people who don't want to go to New York because they don't want to inconvenience their families. There are some people who just look at it, some really good players, who say, yeah, the Yankees are there. But Yankees fans need to realize this. Right now, you are not the end-all, be-all in baseball. You hope to be, and look, I'm a fan guy. I'm hoping that you get your wish. Go ahead. Get a championship. Win it. I understand that. But every single year, you're not going to win it, and you haven't been winning it for some time. So don't blame the players, and don't believe all this nonsense. And every time you hear something about a player that is really good, and this is a unanimous Cy Young Award winner in Paul Skenes, who automatically somebody says, oh, he was talking to a former teammate, and he's desperate. He wants to become a Yankee. It's the biggest thing in his life. Doesn't sound like that to me. And there's been nobody else that said anything like that. So don't believe all the nonsense. Because 9 times out of 10, what you get is media bullshit. It's just there to go ahead and throw something out. It's a possibility. Possibilities get clicks. Possibilities sell papers. Maybe. But it's more about getting clicks than anything else. And everybody right now, and we even did it here. We went ahead and put it up on NJ.com. We gave them a blow for it because they reported it, but we didn't do it to give them the publicity. We did it to make sure you know who is out there putting the report out there and is likely wrong. Doesn't have anything to back it up other than an anonymous former teammate who says this was said to him? Come on. You can do better than that, Randy. I mean, if you're going to go ahead and get somebody, put them on the record. Or at least get somebody else who says they heard it. Remember, in journalism, you're supposed to have 2 sources, not just one. You have one. Get a second. And not only that, call the guy. Interview Skenes. Ask him. Do the simple things that mean you're following up on a story. And by the way, I don't know Randy, never met him before. As far as I'm concerned, he never stole a freight train. But this is not to hammer away at him. This is not to insult him. But it's just to ask the simple things about doing proper journalism in a sense like this, instead of just being part of this nonsense crew that's out there, like the Pat McAfees of the world and all the rest, the Paul Feinbaums of the world, who go out there and throw every single rumor out there, and all of a sudden, it must be true. It's not all the time true. Will Paul Skenes one day become a member of the New York Yankees? Possible. I mean, it's possible. Could be that after he gets done a couple more seasons in Pittsburgh with an organization that doesn't spend any money to really win games, he might actually think, maybe the Yankees are going to be the best place for me. But it's not anything more than just a rumor right now. Live with it. Stay calm. Take a breath. Don't worry, Pittsburgh. You're going to have Skenes for a couple more seasons. Now, though, we have to discuss the problem in Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Pirates, and I want to make sure I get all this right, the Pittsburgh Pirates are owned by the 10th richest owner in Major League Baseball. His name is Bob Nutting. He has been the owner, sole owner, or at least the sole controlling owner, since 2007. There were 3 wild card seasons in there that really turned out good for the Pirates. There was a time when people thought things were going to be turning around in Pittsburgh. 2013, 2014, and 2015. But the people in Pittsburgh have nicknamed this guy Bottom Line Bob for a reason. The Pittsburgh Pirates are frighteningly in need of better ownership. Major League Baseball's got to do something if they can, because this guy doesn't give a damn. I mean, Major League Baseball, and never let an owner in Major League Baseball tell you that they've got money trouble, they've got money issues. Never let them tell you that, because that is in and of itself complete and utter steaming bullshit. They are all incredibly wealthy. This guy, as I said, 10th richest owner in Major League Baseball. He's got plenty of money to make this a winner. But Nutting is a guy who has kept all the television revenue and all the Major League Baseball revenue sharing to himself as profit. He doesn't plow this back into the team. Other owners, what they do is they want to win. This is a greedy individual who is a reprehensible owner of the team, of a legacy. Pittsburgh has got one of the greatest legacies in Major League Baseball, and they deserve better than having this clown show running it right now. But Nutting doesn't care. All he does is he keeps the money, and he doesn't plow it back in. This is a franchise that has been 4th or 5th the last 8 years, and they deserve better than that. But the problem with it is Major League Baseball, let's face it, Major League Baseball doesn't really get behind a lot of these owners and push them to do things, because the owners are the ones that run the show. The really rich owners are. Major League Baseball needs to get to a point where they're going to these franchises. And look, I realize that this is private entity, private business, and the Pirates are a privately owned industry, a privately owned business. You can't make people do certain things. But Major League Baseball has got to realize that your owners are there. They are a stewardship of a legacy, of a franchise, of a community. And you've got to get in there and force them to spend the money. I mean, you've got salary caps for maximums, but you need to have a bare minimum. Look, all this money that Nutting is squirreling away here. Nutting, squirrel, okay. Fits real good, man. You got to have a nut sooner or later, okay? Every single dollar he's squirreling away can be used to build a better franchise. And right now, think about it. You've got a unanimous Cy Young Award winner in Paul Skenes. What do you want to do? You want to build a franchise around this guy. You want to put the right players in there. You want to put a good offense and a good defense and an excellent pitching staff around him, because you have a chance now. You've got a drawing card. But the reprehensible manner that Bottom Line Bob runs this franchise is disgusting. The people of Pittsburgh, hey, this is my message to you. Scream, holler, jump up and down, and do everything you can to try and see if you could not even get the guy to sell, because he's not going to sell. He's making a huge nut off basically stealing all this money. But at least get somebody in Major League Baseball on your side to try and get this clown to pour some of the money back into the franchise. I've been to Pittsburgh before. I have a lot of friends in Pittsburgh. I haven't been to a ball game there in a long time. I haven't been to the new park. I mean, that goes to show how long it was that I was there. I was a kid when I was in Pittsburgh. But these people love this team. They love this franchise. And you know why they don't show up? Bottom line, Bob, because you put a piece of crap on the field. Because you're putting players and teams on the field that don't win, that don't compete, and that people are not going to go ahead and spend ridiculous money for. It doesn't make a difference whether it's $1 or $1,000 for a seat. People don't want to spend money and feel like they're being taken. But by Bob Nutting in Pittsburgh, they're being suckered played every single game, because they're going to the game because they love the game, they love the sport, they want to see their team play, they want to see their team win, and the team does nothing to win. You're basically being used as nothing more than a way to make Nutting even wealthier. And that's the problem. I would love to see Major League Baseball get involved somehow, make these degenerate owners, these guys with spitloads of money, get them out there, spend the money, do something to at least make them competitive. I mean, when you're finishing 4th or 5th the last 8 years, you're not giving anybody any hope whatsoever. So it's up to baseball, who's got to do something. And I know that they won't. And I know I'm basically just spinning in the wind here because they're not really going to make the guys spend the money. But the people in Pittsburgh, I hate to say this, but you got to stop going to the games. But the problem with it is if you stop going to the games, they'll only get worse. And you've got players there who are in the prime of their career like Skenes, who's basically going to waste. And when he gets ready, he probably will go somewhere else and maybe go to the New York Yankees. He wants to stay in Pittsburgh, but he wants to be part of a winner. That's what everybody wants. So people in Pittsburgh, I don't know what to tell you to do. I mean, the simplest thing is stay home. But why? If you watch, you've got sponsors. They're making money, but even the sponsors are pulling out now. Some of the major sponsors are pulling out from Nutting's newspapers because they know he's not trying to build a winner. All he's trying to do is suck cash out of the fans and all the sponsors that he's making suckers out of. But other than staying away, I don't know what you're doing. It's not fair to tell the fans to stay away because you love your baseball and you love your team. It's a shame what's happening to Pittsburgh, a brilliant legacy franchise in Major League Baseball. The fans deserve better. The players deserve better. The community deserves better. The region deserves better. They deserve to have a team that's competing to win a World Series. And if they do it, maybe they keep Paul Skenes. If they don't, kiss this guy goodbye, because the first chance he gets, this team keeps losing, Paul Skenes is gone. And you're right back starting again at the bottom. But then again, Bob Nutting likes starting at the bottom because it means he can suck as much cash out of you as he possibly can. He can keep doing it, and baseball will give him leave to go right ahead and do it.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in sports.